Wasn't there... Didn't it mention the basement? And the floor mechanism. So that's what I'm looking for. A floor mechanism. But I would have thought it was down here though. Still. How am I supposed to get out there? I've done this before, I'm not sure why it's taking me so long now. I'm a little stuck. So that's the way I went in the house, and it's the only way in or out currently. But where is this floor mechanism? I was sure it was in the basement. There's another note on the ground here though. Shopping lists. Milk, goat cheese, turnips, cauterizing agent, eggs, flour and cheese. I know I've found this before, but why can't I find it now? Even more annoyingly, I believe one of the times I have found it, I found it quite easy. I feel like it was something in this room that affects the floor or wall in the basement. It was in this room that goes to another room in the basement. Well, I found it. All good. Many thanks. M. Not certain how you managed to get your hands on that item we discussed, but I'm more than pleased. I thought you'd simply wait until it was being transported from Castle Door to its final destination, but according to what I've heard, it vanished right from their armory. I wish I knew how you were able to slip by the guards, bypass the portcullis, unlock the armory door, and break into that dwarven puzzle locked chest. You need to teach me that little trick time. I've left your cut in the usual drop spot and might have another job for you soon. I know how he done it. Mercer's plans. It's not in there. Ratway Vaults.
Punishment's too good for Mercer Frey.
Why are you two just standing here ready to fight?
It's death.
If I... Sir, first, I'm gonna crush his skull.
We've scoured the town and I've spoken to every contact we have left. No sign of Mercer. Any luck on your end?
He
Any luck
wasn't
on your
there.
end?
But I found these plants.
Shore's beard. He's going after the eyes of the Falmer? That was Gallus's pet project. If he gets his hands on them, you can be certain he'll be gone for good and set up for life.
Then we have to stop him.
Agreed. He's taken everything the guild has left, and to go after one of the last greatest heists is just an insult. I've spoken to Carlia and made amends for how the guild's treated her. Now she wishes to speak with both of us. Quickly, we have no time to lose. Till next we meet, lad.
Hope this deal goes through. Putting quite a good point on the line. The last two you set up fell through.
Not now, lad. Carlia said it was important.
Sure thing, I swear. Better hope this one isn't another waste of my coin.
I know what it's about, I believe.
Brynjolf, the time has come to decide Mercer's fate. Until a new guildmaster is chosen, the decision falls to you.
Aye, lass. But I've come to a decision. Mercer Frey tried to kill both of you. He betrayed the guild, murdered Gallus, and made us question our future. He needs to die.
We have to be very careful, Brynjolf. Mercer is a nightingale, an agent of Nocturnal.
It's all true. Everything I heard in the stories. The Nightingales, their allegiance to Nocturnal, and the Twilight Sepulchre.
That's why we need to prepare ourselves and meet Mercer on equal footing. Just outside of Rift, beyond the southeast gate is a small path cut up the mountainside. At the end of that path is a clearing, and an old standing stone. I'd ask you both to meet me there.
Will do.
I have some preparations of my own to make. I'll meet you at the stone.
Yeah? What of it? So, is it...
I'm going there straight away. Time to become a nightingale. There's the stone.
I'm glad you're here.
What's the significance of this place?
This is the headquarters of the Nightingales, cut into the mountainside by the first of our kind. We've come to seek the edge we need to defeat Mercer Frey.
What kind of an edge?
If you'll follow me, I'll try to explain on the way.
Tell me about the Nightingales.
Gallus, Mercer Frey and I were once members of what's known as the Nightingale Trinity. The Trinity disbanded 25 years ago when Mercer Frey betrayed us by slaying Gallus and dumping his body in the ruins of Snowvale Sanctum.
Were they a part of the Thieves Guild?
Indirectly. The Trinity is usually selected from the ranks of the Guild, although its existence is a closely guarded secret.
What is their purpose?
The Nightingales protect the Temple of Nocturnal, a place known as the Twilight Sepulchre.
Okay. Who is Nocturnal?
She's the mistress of night and darkness, and the patron of every thief in Tamriel.
I never met a thief that worshipped anything.
Nocturnal isn't one for worship and reverence. There are no priests and no sermons, no services and no arms. She influences our luck, and in return, demands payment.
Sounds like a guild contract.
You're closer to understanding than you realize. The only difference is she doesn't demand payment in the traditional sense, and sometimes the cost can be quite high. Whether you know it or not, Nocturnal dictates how well we perform as rogues.
I have my skill, not powers or magic.
Again, you have to think differently. Haven't you ever noticed how our luck behaves? Like a novice picking an impossible lock, or a blind man suddenly turning to face you as you reach for his pocket. It's through these subtle means that Nocturnal influences us.
Sounds like she just likes us to suffer.
Nocturnal's whim is the greatest mystery to everyone. There have been volumes written on the subject. Does she exact payment when we die? When we suffer, does she revel in our misery? No one knows. The return certainly seems worth the risk, though.
What happened to capturing Mercer alive?
She's the mistress of night and dark.
Wrong
Nocturnal
one.
isn't one. She influences our luck. And
I don't
in
like
person,
how
the
the
only difference is she does whether you
PC
know
version
it
that
or not.
I've got
Again,
does that.
like a novice, it's through these subtle means that Nocturnal does she.
I don't know if
return
it's
certainly
fixed in a
seems
mod
worth
or
the risk,
whatever,
though.
but not in my version. I don't have a mod for it. What happened to capturing Mercer alive?
From the moment you were struck with my poisoned arrow at Snowvale Sanctum, my path changed its course. Perhaps I couldn't bring Mercer back alive, but together, we were able to clear my name and to put Gallus's memory to rest. I'd always intended Mercer's fate to ultimately be decided by the Guild, and it seems they've spoken.
Am I to become a nightingale?
It's my hope that you will, yes. This way, please.
So this is Nightingale Hall. I heard about this place when I joined the guild, but I never knew it existed.
The assumption that the Nightingales were just a myth was seeded within the Guild on purpose. It helped divert attention from our true nature. What's wrong, Brynjolf? I can almost hear your brow furrowing.
I'm trying to understand why I'm here, lass. I'm no priest, and I'm certainly not religious. Why pick me?
This isn't about religion, Brynjolf. It's business. This is Nightingale Hall. You're the first of the uninitiated to set foot inside in over a century. Now, if you'll both proceed to the armory to don your Nightingale armor, we can begin the oath. You appear ready for the oath.
Yep. Guess I do, don't I? I thought she would have already
You
been
appear
wearing
ready for
the
the oath.
armor. Is Is there a reason we're just standing here?
Okay, lass. We've got these get-ups on. Now what?
Beyond this gate is the first step in becoming a nightingale.
Whoa there, lass. I appreciate the armor, but becoming a nightingale? That was never discussed.
To hold any hope of defeating Mercer, we must have Nocturnal at our backs. If she's to accept you as one of her own, an arrangement must be struck.
What sort of arrangement? I need to know the terms.
The terms are quite simple, Brynjolf. Nocturnal will allow you to become a nightingale and use your abilities for whatever you wish. And in return, both in life and in death, you must serve as a guardian of the Twilight Sepulchre.
Aye, there's always a catch. But at this point, I suppose there isn't much to lose. If it means the end of Mercer Frey, you can count me in.
What about you? Are you ready to transact the oath with Nocturnal?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good. After I open the gate, please stand on the western circle.
Time's wasting, and Mercer's still out there. Let's get on the road.
We'll speak when complete.
This is the right spot, isn't it?
I call upon you, Lady Nocturnal, Queen of Murk and Empress of Shadow. Hear my voice.
Ah, Carlia. I was wondering when I'd hear from you again. Lose something, did we?
My lady, I've come before you to throw myself upon your mercy and to accept responsibility for my failure.
You're already mine, Carlia. Your terms were struck long ago. What could you possibly offer me now?
I have two others that wish to transact the oath, to serve you both in life and in death.
You surprise me, Carlia. This offer is definitely weighted in my favor.
My appetite for Mercer's demise exceeds my craving for wealth, Your Grace.
Revenge. How interesting. Very well. The conditions are acceptable. You may proceed.
Lady Nocturnal, we accept your terms. We dedicate ourselves to you as both your avengers and your sentinels. We will honor our agreement in this life and the next until your conditions have been met.
Very well. I name your initiates Nightingale, and I restore your status to the same, Carlisle. And in the future, I'd suggest you refrain from disappointing me again.
Well, now I'm a nightingale.
Now that you've transacted the oath, it's time to reveal the final piece of the puzzle to you. Mercer's true crime.
He's done more?
Mercer was able to unlock the guild's vault without 2 keys because of what he stole from the Twilight Sepulchre, the skeleton key. By doing this, he's compromised our ties to Nocturnal, and in essence, caused our luck to run dry.
So the key unlocks any door?
Well, yes, but the key isn't only restricted to physical barriers. All of us possess untapped abilities, the potential to wield great power securely sealed within our minds. Once you realize the key can access these traits, potential becomes limitless.
The guild should possess this item. Or which one am I gonna do? I'll go this one. Sounds like no one should possess it.
Good. Then you understand why this is about more than just Mercer's lust for power. If the key isn't returned to its lock in the Twilight Sepulchre, things will never be the same for the guild. As time passed, our luck would diminish to the point of non-existence. And whether you know it or not, our uncanny luck defines our trade.
First time I ever set out to return something.
Very true. In our line of work, it's quite rare we set out to return a stolen item to its rightful owner.
Let's go.
Before we depart, Brynjolf has some business to discuss. I suggest you listen to him.
Listen, lad. There's one last piece of business we need to settle before we go after Mercer. The leadership of the guild.
It's not actually the first time I've returned a stolen item. Or set out to return a stolen item. Why tell this to me?
Carlia and I had a long discussion before you arrived here. Thanks to your efforts, Mercer's treachery has been exposed. After we deal with him, all that remains is restoring the guild to its full strength. As a result, we both feel that you have the potential of replacing Mercer as leader of the Thieves Guild.
Me? What about you?
I've been at this game a long time, my friend. A long time. I've stolen trinkets from nobles and framed priests for murder. I'm good at what I do. Maybe even one of the best. But it's all I know. I've never been one to lead. Never desired it, never cared for it. Don't want it.
No, it's not right.
Look, everyone in the guild admires what you've done. Maybe they won't come out and simply tell you, but I promise you it's true. And now they know Mercer never genuinely cared about the guild. He lacked the loyalty you obviously possess. I can't think of anyone better.
I don't know what to say.
Well, we have a bit of an errand to run before your coronation, so don't get sentimental on me now.
I accept.
Then it's decided. When this is all over and Delvin's contacts assure me that we've regained our footing in Skyrim, we'll handle the details. Until then, we have quite the task ahead.
Then let's get to it.
I've been poring over the plans you brought us, and I'm convinced the eyes of the Falmer are in the Dwarven ruins at Erkenthand. Carlia and I will meet you there. Prepare yourself, lad. This will be a fight to remember.
If I remember it correctly, I agree. Do you think we stand a chance against Mercer?
If you would have asked me that yesterday, I'd have said no. But now I think our chances have improved. Look, call me crazy if you like, but I trust Carlia. I don't think she'd lead us down a suicidal path. Besides, I'd rather die with some of Mercer's blood on my blade than spend the rest of my life regretting that I ran the other way.
I guess we're nightingales now.
Aye, and some of what Carlia said is starting to make sense. Mercer may have damaged our reputation and raided our coffers, but this goes well beyond even his twisted form of larceny. Old Delvin kept calling it a curse, and we all laughed at him. Looks like the joke's on us. Until next we meet, lad.
Time to go. That place looks pretty well kept, considering how long it's been since people have been there. It's a place I haven't been yet, which isn't really surprising.